All right, so.
All right, we're back again. As always, going to read through the sponsors real quick. We got Rapid Graphics in Rock Rapids. You get your car wrapped, get signs made, whatever you need. Mount Tabor Cabinetry out in Central PA. Get your new cabinets. Morning Sun Marketplace, huge flea market out in Central Pennsylvania again. My Race Pass, if you don't have it, you need it if you're into racing. They cover everything. S2F, start to finish, another streaming service. They cover the Power I, several other tracks, Port City. Houston Speedway, great little track right next door to us here, starting up in 2 weeks, right? Yeah, Mother's Day. Turn 2 Lodge down at Knoxville, if you're looking for a place to stay, right outside of Turn 2. Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, all your wheels, micros, midgets, sprint cars, pulling tractors, all sorts of stuff. Fulkins Brothers Trucking, they've been with us for a long time. We've been friends of theirs forever. Heartland Hardware and Appliance, they have stores in Brandon, South Dakota, and in George and Hayward in Iowa. And then of course last is Hero Haven, just because we got to thank them for all they do for everybody. And now your turn, bud.
Yeah, real quick, what day of the week is it?
The 30th.
30th. So start to finish, we really haven't mentioned this very much lately, but
we've been slack with.
Yep, they got Power I on May 2. Looks like they got Fast on May 2 also, and then May 3 it's Fast again. Weekly racing at Port City on May 3 with Shane Stewart, and May 3 is also Power I. So lots going on start to finish. So I know everybody always talks about Dirt Vision and Flow, but I'm just saying start to finish is a great app and a great way to watch racing also. So, and a quick thank you again to American Hero Clothing out of Larchwood, Michelle Sanderson, and also that's with apparel. And then the hats, like you see the hat in front, LB Ink and Thread, out of Larchwood, Iowa also. And here we go with the podcast. Hey, Hoagie's Garage, Tobin, we have big time winner from this weekend again. We just got done having Jake Newman on with the IRAs.
We're all about winners this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
No second placers this week.
Just winners. We have Ashton Torgerson on. How are you doing, Ashton?
Good. How are you guys?
Sitting here talking racing, like I tell everybody, we're just having fun, so don't get any better than this.
Perfect, yeah. I'm all for it. But thank you guys for having me.
So, are you back home now in California, or are you still out east?
No, I'm back in California here.
Okay, so it's early there yet then.
Yep, we're at 6:50. We're at 6:50 right now.
Yep, getting towards our bedtime here.
You're talking to two old guys, so.
Well, at least my pre-bed nap.
Yeah. You know, our normal thing is going way back, but let's cover Saturday night, or even this whole weekend for you. How did racing? I mean, obviously you won Saturday, but how did this whole weekend go for you?
Yeah, well, it was, this weekend was good. Ending off with a win, but just before that, going to Port Royal for the first time and being on a big half mile like that for the first time. I made the A, and I think started 13th, and playing in the race, I fell back a little bit, but just making the A at Port Royal, I feel like I was happy with it. It was a good night for me there, and then then we go into Baps and we go quick time in our group, and we're fast in the heat race, and then we're able to start fourth and have a really good race. Slid the leader. I think at one point I had a 3-second gap, so it was just super good. With Rick, Bobby, and Jacob, just great crew and kind of things coming up.
So I gotta ask, you're driving for one of the legends in racing, in sprint car racing. What was that like when you got that phone call? I mean, were you even expecting that, or did it just come out of the blue, or had they talked to you once before or anything, or?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was kind of a shock. I think there was some talking before Kel Thomas would hop in the car and you know, then I guess just nothing really worked out at the time, and then you know they we called up again, or you know they called me, and we were, you know, I think it was a Monday, and I was expecting to race in California, and then we got that call, and you know I was like, shoot, let's go. So just you know, like you said, one of the most legendary, you know, cars out there, I would say.
Yep.
You know, with Bobby Allen and everything that he's done for the, you know, motorsports and his team, and just incredible. But no, it was, you know, super thankful for, you know, the opportunity that I got.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, let's skip ahead a little bit here. Just, give us a little bit, you know, your hometown. You're awful young, so I'm assuming you're still single, got a girlfriend, family. What do you got going on out in California?
So I was born and raised in Glendale, Arizona, and then when I was little, I don't remember how little I was, but we had moved to Medford, Oregon, and so that's where people get, you know, sometimes get confused. They'll say I'm from Medford, they'll say I'm from Arizona, but I was born and raised from Arizona and moved to Oregon a little bit later on, and then just moved back to Arizona about 4 years ago. So that's that, and then right now I'm just got a girlfriend and going to do some online college for a business degree, and that's kind of about it. You know, besides that, it's racing.
Nothing
So,
wrong with that.
so the full-time job would be racing right now.
100%. Yeah, that's I would say that's my job, and you know, sounds like a pretty good job to me. I'll take it.
Hey, if you're good enough, you dang right it sounds good enough.
Yeah.
So,
Even if you're not that good, it's still cool. So how did you start into racing then? I'm assuming, you know, you started young, I'm guessing, but if you want to just give us a little bit of the background, what did you start out in and how did you progress up to where you are now?
Yeah, so the whole racing thing in my family started way back with my grandpa. He was the first person to put a monster truck in front of a crowd.
no way.
Yeah. So he's the one that, you know, started monster trucks really, and
Well, I hope
my father. What's that?
I hope that you guys are getting a little compensation for what he started.
Yeah.
So was that Bigfoot then? Because that's the first one I ever remember.
No, I don't. You know.
He had a different one, but he was the first one.
I don't know what truck it was. I just know he was, you know, the first one to make a crowd with a monster truck. So,
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
yeah, something, you know, a lot of people don't really know is, you know, that's what started everything. And so also my father took over, and then ever since I've been born, that's what I've been growing up by is, you know, monster trucks, and you know, my dad used to race, so I would always be there when he was racing. But you know, monster trucks is really what started everything. And then, like you said, I started at a young age of 4 or 5, I believe, doing asphalt go-karts. And I did that for, I think, about 8 years. And in the timeline, I was able to get 5 or 6 full, like, series championships. And I went to Italy for Team USA to do the world final race.
Whoa.
So I had a lot of...
Before you go any further, tell us about that. You went to Italy for the United States team?
Yeah. So funny enough, I think every year they have a race, and it's over in, you know, changed up. But the year that I went was Italy, and they got like 2 drivers for each class or whatever. And I was able to be that driver for, you know, the Team USA, and obviously go over there to Italy and race a, you know, asphalt go-kart is what I was racing at the time, and it was cool. I was one of the sections. I was a whole second faster than, you know, everyone, so I was on top of the board for a little bit, and yeah, it was just a cool experience to do that.
So how many karts are there? How many guys are racing?
I think it's they had a full field of like 50. I think there was like 50 or 60.
Oh damn.
Yeah, and it was, you know, it's best of the best out there, so there was no bad guys. It was all top talent people, and pretty darn hard.
That's
So
awesome.
I gotta ask you another question you have. Now you got me interested in this. Does Team USA, do they have their own carts then, or were you able to take like the cart you'd been racing, or did they supply you with a cart, or how did that work?
Yeah, so all the carts were already supplied out there in Italy. So we would, I flew there to Italy, and then once we got there, we went to our pit stall or whatever, and when you sign in to the race, they would assign you like a cart basically. So they would already have everything out there for each driver and each team, and so everyone would be on the same stuff. So
Sure. Comes
That's
down to
awesome.
more driver skill, then you could say.
exactly. Yeah.
So do you have a really cool Team USA fire suit or something hanging in your closet yet, or?
No, I do. Yeah, I have when I went out there, I had a helmet painted just for that race, and had a Team USA suit. But that was a couple years ago, so it's a little small now, but yeah.
But it's still damn cool to have hanging in the closet.
Because how
Oh
old
yeah, for sure.
how old would you have been when you did that?
I think I was probably 10 or 11. maybe
That's
12.
awesome.
So I'm assuming mom or dad or both got to go along then with you?
Yeah, the whole
Okay.
family went out. Maybe my mom, my dad, my brother, and me.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Okay, sorry
No,
sorry we stopped
no,
there.
no,
Oh, you got one more?
Was it a road course track that you ran on then?
Yeah, it was a road course. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm assuming it was a track. They didn't have you on the streets, or did they have you on the streets?
No, it was a track out
Okay.
there
Okay.
that they have.
Okay. Now go ahead, but I'll quit now.
No.
No, wait. One more question. Going back a little bit further. What was Grandpa's name? So I can Google up what he did.
Stanley Torgerson.
Stanley?
Stanley, yeah.
Got it. I'm writing it down so I don't forget.
All
Okay,
right.
now go ahead, bud.
No, I'm just saying, now he can continue where he was, because we rudely interrupted him.
Yeah,
we
but
had
that
to-
was interesting. You can't pass
absolutely.
that up.
We had to figure that out. So continue on from where you were. Sorry.
You come back to the U.S. now and you're still racing, so go from there.
Yeah, so that was pretty much my karting career. I did that, like I said, I think for 8 years, and then I jumped into the micro program, micro 600s, and my first year, I got a couple wins, and we were pretty good right off the bat, and then I think I did micros for about 3 or 4 years, strong. I'll still do a few races here and there, but 1 year in the micros, I think I had a 45 win season with 3 championships.
Holy crap.
Man.
How many races did you run in that year? 50?
What's that?
How many races did you run? Over 50, I hope. You didn't win them all, did you?
Yeah, no, I had a pretty busy season that time. I think it was I want to say an 80 or 90 race schedule.
So half of the races he won.
Half the race. That's a pretty good year.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
I would say so. Okay, I'm interrupted again. Continue now, please. Thank you.
Yeah, let's see, so micros ran that for a little bit, and then obviously, I'm sure you guys know that the full shootout, I was able to win that, which was, probably the biggest win in my career, so that was definitely a cool race to be able to win. And here in the last year and maybe 2 years, I've been, I guess midgets. Let's go back to last year. I went to the midgets for Keith Coons, and I was able to run the extreme whole series for the points. And second night out with Keith, it was at Port City. I was able to get the win. With top-notch guys there. We had Thorson and McIntosh and
Oh, yeah.
Sims and all them. So right out of the gate, we were pretty quick with Keith Coons and the midgets, and then ran the whole extreme series. And I think I ended up with 4 wins. And last point race was, I think we were tied for me, 3rd and 4th. I was 4th, and 3rd was tied with me. So it was a close battle for 3rd, but I think I ended up 4th for the extreme outlaw midgets, and then I think that's kind of caught up now. Now we're to, sprint cars. I ran a little bit that year also. I was able to pick off my first 360 win, and then kind of just ran a handful of sprint car races, and then so far this year, started off with the NARC 410 series out in California, and now we're to the 1A car and Shark Racing, and now we're caught up.
Okay.
Now you're under like 40 sprint car starts, so aren't you?
For the 410s, I only have, I think they said 20.
Okay.
For the 410.
Yeah. So not a lot yet to get your
Yeah.
first win.
Yeah,
That's
only-
pretty good. That's setting your bar pretty high, though. You got to be careful now. They're gonna start expecting this from you.
What's that?
They're gonna start expecting this from you now.
Yeah, not. It was crazy. Like out there going to Pennsylvania, the PA posse, it's no joke out there.
Oh no, that's the real deal.
So yeah, I went out there trying to just go out there and learn as much as I could, and kind of just see what we could do and really just learn. And
Yep.
so we had a really good run out there, and yeah, it felt good to get that one.
So when you are racing with the 1A, is Scruffy setting the car up? Is Jacob setting the car up, or do they have a crew chief besides those two guys?
So when I'm out there for I guess this last weekend, we all work as a team. We all talk together, and then Jacob is, I'm pretty sure, the one that does the setups. But as far as coal wise, we all come together and talk and figure out what we all agree on or what we think, and just work as a team and try to get try and know each other as best we can, and maybe do some things that I like, or maybe something just get comfortable with each other.
Yeah. So and now you're gonna come back to the Midwest this weekend then and run that car again, correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna I fly out tomorrow, head to Eldora for the 2 days at Outlaws.
And is there anything? Have you discussed anything down the road from that yet, or ain't that allowed to be talked about yet?
I'm not exactly sure on that.
Nope.
I think for just kind of how Eldora goes, and kind of just go from there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you kick some ass and you keep rolling.
I hope so. Yeah.
So, you said there for a little bit, and shoot me if I'm wrong here, but I think you said you rode with Keith Coons in the midget. So before that, was it always your own stuff? Like going, moving up the ladder? Was it all family owned stuff, or were you driving for somebody else?
It was pretty much all just family stuff. But obviously, I was telling you guys about the go-karts. That was all family stuff, and got into the micro program. That was all family stuff as well. And then, now the midget stuff was kind of the first, I would say, non-family.
Yep. And now with the sprint car, the wing sprint car out there in California, not with Jacob, but is the sprint car your own?
So I'll run my own sprint car sometimes, but the 410 series that I'm running for it, the NARC 410 series, that's a 7 car of snow, so that one is not mine either.
Because that's what you were in Vegas. You ran that in Vegas, right? Because
Snow getting? Or
no,
snow
no. He'll explain that, but it says snow on the wing all the time.
Oh, okay.
The guys had a lot of cars over the
Okay.
years.
All right.
But what's the gentleman's name?
7-car, Clayton Snow. Yeah.
Clayton Snow. I knew a little bit, but not much, bud.
Yeah. No, that's
Oh, you're good.
we know Snow Giddings really well, so that's I just wanted to clarify that because when I hear Snow, that's the only guy I think of. So
Either that guy or we got to scoop it, one or the other.
yeah, that's right, absolutely. Oh man.
So just say this is your last weekend in the 1A car. Not, hopefully it's not, but then you'll go back to California then? Is that the plan then to run the NARC series then for this year?
Yeah. Like you said, hopefully not, the last, but, you know, if that was to be the case, yeah, I'd finish off this year running the 410 night series
Yep.
for the 7
Yeah.
snow car.
So I gotta jump back. I just have to ask this question too. You know, you were in Vegas and I was out there. Can't
Yeah.
remember if did I catch him? No, did I? I don't know. Doesn't matter. You got to hold him somehow, bud. But anyways, how many rocks did you get hit by out there? 'Cause I heard a lot of people getting hit by rocks.
Yeah, I definitely did. I got hit quite a bit. You know, the next couple days after that, I had some bruises on my shoulders and chest area just by the rocks, and actually, I got hit in the helmet pretty hard where it like fractured the helmet, and yeah, it caused some pretty. There was a lot of rocks, and so the rock screen I had on had a bunch of dents in it too. But yeah, the rocks were no joke out there.
No, I almost think they're gonna have to figure out something to do with that to keep a national series coming there because there hadn't been anybody there in quite a while.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, I
think.
was gonna say I think that's the first time that sprint cars have been there. Not first time, but since it's been a while since they've been there.
Yep. Oh, hold on, Bud's got technical
No, you're
difficulties.
good. Keep talking.
Oh well, we'll let you get the next mic turned on because yeah, it's a fun track to watch the race on, but yeah, well everybody heard about Reitzel, but and then I can't mention no names right now because I'm going to screw that up, so I won't mention it. But I know one guy got his finger broke, and they said,
The other difficult part was the wind out there.
"Oh, that was terrible all weekend. We were there from Wednesday through Sunday, and the wind blew damn every day."
That affected me quite a bit.
Yep. Oh, that's why we didn't get a race most of the time was the wind.
Yeah.
You know, we only got one day in, but I still had a blast out there. But yeah, there was rocks. Who was it? Danny Sams, they said, got hit in the head while he was watching the races. He was bleeding, they said. It was quite something. So hopefully they get something figured out, because as far as I know, I think they're planning on doing it next year. As of now.
I sure hope so.
Because we've halfway got plans of coming. But, so, anyways, let's see, where are we at here? Now, we're running NARC this year. Now, do you have your own apparel and such, or not?
Yeah, I got some. I had some shirts for sale. Right now, I think we're getting another order in for. I think we were getting another order in, and then depending on what happens with the 1A shark car, if that happens more, then we should have some apparel for that as well.
So what you have now, is that just available with you at the track, or do you have like a website people can get it off of?
Yeah, I have it. I'll have some at the track, and then really the best way is just to message Torgerson Racing on Facebook, and then we'll get it shipped out to him.
Okay, perfect.
You bet. What would you say is your favorite style of what track? Is small, big? What's your favorite go-to track?
My favorite track's kind of more of a small bull ring. Obviously I don't have much big track experience. Port Royal was my first half mile, and Vegas was kind of my biggest one before that. So don't really have a bunch of big track experience, but I would definitely have to say the smaller bull rings.
Now I gotta ask, because we've never watched Baps, because that's on Sprint Car Unlimited TV, and we haven't got that. So we got 5 streaming services I think already. But anyways, how big a track is Baps? Is that a 3/8 or a half, or what do they call that one?
I searched it up before I went there, and I believe they called it a 4/10 or maybe a big 3/8. So
okay.
It's not. I wouldn't say small, but I guess for the PA guys out there, I think they might consider that small. I'm not sure.
Yeah. They got all kinds of tracks out there, and you got the Grove. That's at basically 2 90-degree corners and big drag strips, and they're just they're different tracks. Well, every part of the country the tracks are different, so that's what makes it fun for us. So,
how did you get your number when you started racing? And did you keep the same number all the way through? I mean, obviously, when you join a new team, you got to keep that. But when it was just your family stuff, did you always just have the same number?
Yeah, ever since I started racing, I've had the same number 02, and haven't changed it yet. The reason I have 02 is because when my dad was racing, he ran dwarf cars for a while, and so when he was racing, he was 02 or 02, and so I kind of just took the number over.
Stole it from him when you started racing.
Do you know why
Yeah.
your dad selected 02?
I think I don't know for sure, but I think at one point he was 01 for the year, like 2001, and then I think maybe at one point I think he was 02 for 2002. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I took it over either way.
He must have had a good year in 02 because he kept that number then. So.
yeah.
Oh man.
So
absolutely. Well, should we get to the rapid fire?
We might as well. We don't want to keep him all night. Well, that or we don't want to keep ourselves all night.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm halfway falling asleep here as I'm talking.
You are not, bud.
Yeah,
we're having too much fun for that. Well, I got to stay awake on the way home, though.
What's your favorite kind of ice cream?
Favorite? Oh, that's a good question. Probably got to go with the old cookie dough. Yeah.
Yep.
Wade Unger, I think it was. He said, asked him his favorite flavor. He said the next one. So he must like all ice creams, though.
I'm right there with them.
Yep.
All ice cream's good.
Yep. How about you're a cat or a dog person?
I'm a dog. I have a little French bulldog myself.
Okay, just one?
Yeah, I got one myself, and then my brother has one as well. But
okay,
that's good. Do you have any hobbies other than racing?
Man, I don't know. Racing's all my life. So I do a lot of racing. In the meantime, I'll like I said, I'll do the monster truck stuff. But besides that, maybe bowling here a little bit here and there. Kind of started getting into some bowling. So that's really about it.
So
podcast now. He's having so much fun now. You can do more podcasts.
Yeah. So monster truck. Since have you driven some? I assume.
Yeah. Yep.
And do you do jumps? Do you do backflips? Do you do all those crazy things?
I haven't gotten to do a backflip yet, but yeah, I'll do the donuts, jump, walk on the back tires and the front tires, walking on the front tires and do all that good stuff. It's a blast for sure.
So now, do you go to the monster shows and do this, or do you just get to play around on somebody's?
No, I'll go to the shows. I told my dad he owns his own he owns a company of monster trucks and he owns his own trucks, and so whenever he needs a driver, or if I have an off weekend, I go over there and just run the truck at the shows, and so whenever I'm available.
Well, that ain't all bad.
No, absolutely. One more question about the monster trucks. They destroy an absolute crap ton of equipment like every show. At least it looks it to me. Are they getting paid that well to destroy stuff? How does this? It seems like you would lose money on this.
That
deal.
freestyle is hard on things.
Yeah, well, it's all different. There's Monster Jam, which is the biggest company.
Yeah.
That's not what my dad owns. He owns some other companies, but for them, they tear up quite a bit. Every show, they own all their own stuff, and I'm sure they got sponsors for everything as well. So for a company, a smaller company, it kind of just depends if how bad you tear it up and what you broke and whatnot. But it can get expensive real quick if you do wrong thing.
Yeah, well, that's no different than driving a sprint car. You make the wrong move there, it gets kind of expensive too as she's rolling down the track. So.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. It could. You could wreck everything on the car, or it could just be front axle. You never know.
Yeah. Motors. If it's got motors and tires and you're racing it, it's going to get expensive at some time.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the nature of the beast. Is it my turn, bud?
Yep.
Okay. How about a favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh man, I don't know. Obviously Talladega Nights. That's pretty. I feel like if you're a racer, you got to watch that. So we'll say Talladega Nights.
You bet. Do you prefer snow or rain?
Oh, I don't know. Sun. I'm not a I'm not a cold person, but
Good answer. Good
if I gotta
answer.
if I gotta choose, I'll go snow.
Okay. Snow don't cancel as many races, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So if you're going to be stranded on an island, what album or what type of music do you need to have along to listen to?
So that's a good question because for music, I'll listen to anything, and I'm not too picky. So
Okay.
whatever I got out there, I'm good with it.
There you go.
That works.
Is there a place to eat that you really enjoy going to that maybe isn't like, say, a McDonald's? Is there a hidden gem?
Where do you take the girlfriend when you want to impress her?
So there's obviously the good old Texas Roadhouse. That's pretty good. But in Arizona, and I think out east, there's some Italian food called Fazoli's.
Yep.
Not sure if you guys heard of that, but
Yep.
that's kind of my favorite spot.
I think we even got one in Sioux Falls, bud. I'm pretty sure there's a Fazoli's.
Yeah.
I've never been there, but I'm pretty sure there is one. We'll have to Google that up too, maybe, and learn. How about a favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday? Ooh, um, I think I gotta go Christmas.
Yep. That's a hard one to beat.
Yeah, it is. It is.
How old did you say you were?
I'm 18 right now. Turned to 19, May. So I guess this month almost.
19 then.
So
Pretty much 19, yeah.
How many speeding tickets do you got?
Oh man, I had none, and then last year I was heading up to Seattle, and I got one. So
One
I do got one.
That's not bad.
But he's only 18 yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I said we'd call him 19, so sorry about that. So anyways, then this next question goes right along with that. What's the fastest you've ever driven down a highway or ridden with somebody in a car? And we'll tell mom and dad not to listen.
No, I keep all the speed and racing on the track. So, I don't know, on the freeway with, maybe my parents driving or whatever, might be doing 80, 85, maybe 90, but
Okay.
nothing too crazy. There's, tracks for that. So I'll let it stay on the track.
Oh, that's mighty
we
fine.
just had Jake Newman, wasn't he?
160,
140 on a gravel road, but an oiled gravel road, whatever that is, but different than what I mean, but too fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
160
for sure.
on the highway, 140 on a gravel road. He said.
Yeah.
So there's no way I'm going 140 on a gravel road. So
I ain't going 140 on the highway, bud.
I will, but that Chrysler Newport that mom and dad had back in the day. That thing didn't run good until you got it up to 80.
You got her wound up. Huh?
So
then she smoothed right
yeah.
up.
And you just floated. Since you're
Love the
only
sound
18,
effect.
what's your go-to drink or beverage that is non-alcoholic?
Dr. Pepper. That's my go-to.
Oh, him and my wife can sit and drink Dr. Pepper together
There you
all
go.
night.
Yeah.
Me and
Yeah,
Bud
anywhere I go, if I go to a restaurant or dinner or anything, it's always a Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
Pepsi or Diet Coke at the table here.
Yep. We're not drinkers either.
No.
So
So, last question, then we won't keep you any longer. If you
No,
had
you're
all
good.
the money in the world, didn't know what to do with it all, is there a car, a pickup, a motorcycle, a motorhome, is a plane? Is there anything you think would be really cool to have?
If I got the money, I feel like I'm gonna get myself some sport cars like McLarens and Ferraris and Lambos. If you got the money, why not, right? And then
absolutely.
maybe get some mansions or something.
Some what?
Some mansions, like some big homes.
Oh, mansions. Okay, I was trying to figure out what car you were talking about at that point. I wasn't keeping up. I'm sorry, Ashton.
No, you're good.
Oh, you bet.
I've often wondered what them people do in them mansions.
Yeah.
You get lost.
Yeah,
You see some
I
of
don't
them?
know. It's a good question.
I always tease my wife. I say, if I had a question to ask you, by the time I'd find you in this 40-room mansion, I'd forget what the hell I was going to ask you.
That's what phones are for.
That's definitely just call. Call or text.
I text my kid downstairs and say, "Get up here for supper." Instead of yelling, I just text him. So,
I still yell.
Yeah, that's the way you got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Modern technology.
Exactly.
How old's your brother then? Before we let you go.
My brother's 22.
Okay, and how's racing going for him? Is he racing or is he doing the monster truck thing?
He's racing. He's kind of, he's kind of backing off a little bit. Each year more and more, just to go work on the business, and that's what he wants to do for his life and his career, is to take over the business and keep the monster truck name and going. So
yeah,
he's gonna take that over.
So you going back to get your college degree, is this you wanting to do that, or is this the parents pushing you to get a college degree?
Yeah, I think that's I mean, I don't really want to, but I think it'll be good just to have. But it's kind of I was kind of the parents pushing that a little bit.
Yeah.
Just in case the racing thing don't work out.
Exactly, yeah. They were pushing on me, and I kind of wasn't about it, but then kind of thought about it, like, hey, what's it gonna hurt?
Yeah. So. And the glory thing is you can do it online, so you can still race when you need to. You're not tied down on a campus or nothing.
Exactly. I can just do it online and continue doing what I'm doing, so it's not really not gonna hurt at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So you fly out tomorrow, and you go to Eldora. Is this gonna be your first time to Eldora too?
Yeah. I've never been to Eldora. I've never been to watch or anything, so this will be my first time racing there and just being there.
Yeah, and you're gonna have some good competition.
Oh yeah, that's it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, the guys you beat at Baps. I mean,
they
Chase Dietz to Danny D to Macri. Anthony Macri, and
they were all there. So
definitely had a lot of talent there.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, we wish you the best the rest of the year, and wherever it takes you, I hope it all works out for you.
Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys for having me on this podcast as well.
Hey, not a problem.
Right.
You take
care.
See you guys.
Bye.